while using his other hand to swiftly unbuckle his belt pants before pulling out his erect, bare-skinned penis, which was the length and girth of a Tootsie Roll.
Yeah, you heard that right. Diddy and his lawyers definitely weren't ready for this kind of heat. In the middle of all the chaos around his case, one of his alleged victims just dropped a shocking new detail that surprised everyone. She said, his private part looked like a Tootsie Roll. Yes, a Tootsie Roll candy. But wait, that wasn't even the wildest part. She went on to share even more shocking details that left the whole courtroom stunned. Everyone knows Sean Diddy Combs is in some serious trouble right now. He is facing over 60 lawsuits in this huge federal trial that accuses him of sex trafficking and running a criminal operation. If he's found guilty, he could go to prison for life. No joke. But today, we're focusing on one lawsuit that has everyone talking. One of Diddy's accusers, who we'll call Jane Doe, gave testimony that shook the courtroom. And I'm not kidding when I say this. Jane Doe compared Diddy's private part to a Tootsie Roll, like the actual candy bar. Seriously. According to TMZ, Jane Doe said that when Diddy allegedly assaulted her back in 2001, she noticed his manhood was about the size of a big Tootsie Roll in both length and width. And here's the crazy part. She said she felt kind of relieved because she thought, okay, maybe this won't hurt as much. Bruh. I'm trying to keep this somewhat family-friendly, but the trauma she described is very deep. Therapy-level deep. Imagine having all the money, fame, and mansions, but then being publicly exposed like this in court. It's like showing up to a party thinking you're the star, only to have everyone pointing, laughing, and whispering behind your back. Except way worse. Word is, Diddy's lawyers were totally caught off guard by this testimony. Picture fancy lawyers in suits and designer shirts thinking they had everything under control. Then, boom, Tootsie Rollgate hits and their jaws drop. Some media even started calling Diddy Itty Bitty Diddy after that. I can't even. The disrespect is next level. That nickname is gonna stick forever. The internet never forgets, and it definitely won't let Diddy live that down anytime soon. Let's back up for context. Jane Doe's lawsuit says Diddy assaulted her in 2001 at his Manhattan apartment. According to court papers, she first met Combs in May 2001 in an elevator with friends, and they exchanged numbers. They hung out a few times, but by the fourth meeting, things supposedly went bad. Jane Doe says that after stepping onto a tour bus with used women's underwear lying around, which is already gross, she was taken to Diddy's apartment. Once inside, she says he led her to the bedroom, locked the door, pushed her on the bed, and put his hand around her neck, saying, "I'm going to suck the life out of you." Even though she said no, she claims Combs overpowered her and assaulted her, the moment that led to the famous Tootsie Roll comparison. According to her, he did what he wanted with no care for her screams or consent. I know we're trying to keep this somewhat PG-13, but there's no way to sugarcoat how serious these claims are. This is just one of many lawsuits Diddy faces, and the details are disturbing. The fact that Jane Doe used that crazy Tootsie Roll comparison says a lot. It's kind of her way of taking back some control in a traumatic situation by calling him out, and honestly, I'm not mad at it. These victims have been silenced for too long. What makes this even crazier is that Jane Doe's testimony came out right as Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex, is also testifying in the federal trial. The timing could not be worse for Diddy's defense team. It's like having the worst day ever and stepping in gum while wearing brand new Jordans. Except the gum here is a flood of serious criminal allegations. Diddy is currently facing more than 60 lawsuits about sexual assault and physical abuse spanning decades. The federal trial includes charges like racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, coercion, and transporting women for prostitution. If convicted, Diddy could spend the rest of his life in prison. He's already been denied bail several times and is locked up in Brooklyn. Remember, this is just one lawsuit. The floodgates are open, and more people are coming forward every day. Jane Doe's case includes claims of physical abuse, emotional trauma, and mental damage. She wants a jury trial and money for what she says she went through. Diddy denies all sexual assault claims but hasn't specifically responded to the Tootsie Roll comment. And honestly, what could he even say? No, it's actually more like a king-size candy bar. There's no coming back from that. Details like this are embarrassing, sure, but they also make her story more believable. Who would make up something so random, humiliating, and specific? It's just too real. This whole situation reminds me of when 50 Cent started trolling Diddy after the Tootsie Roll testimony came out. You know 50 never misses a chance to clown Diddy, and this was perfect ammo. Their feud has been going on longer than some of y'all have been alive. The way this trial is playing out is like a train wreck you just can't look away from. Every day, there are new allegations, new testimony, and new shocking details about what allegedly happened behind Diddy's closed doors. So, yeah, this is wild, and it's far from over. This case is turning into one of the most shocking celebrity trials in recent years. The mix of Cassie's story, the terrible details about the freak-offs, and the huge amount of evidence the prosecutors say they have all point to a very bad situation for Diddy. His defense team is clearly struggling to find a good way to fight the case. Based on what we know now, it's hard to see how he could be found not guilty. But, of course, in our justice system, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. So, we have to wait and see what happens in court. One thing is clear, though. No matter the final decision, Diddy's reputation is damaged forever. The days of bad boy for life are over. Now, people will remember the headlines about Tootsie Rolls and freak-offs. It is a huge fall from grace for a man who was once one of the biggest names in the music world. As the saying goes, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and Diddy's fall has been very big. Now, let's talk about some important details from the trial. Diddy was said to have told Cassie, "No, she's not going anywhere." But the security guard, Flores, said he had to step in and tell Diddy that if Cassie wanted to leave, she could. This is where things get really interesting. Flores said that when he took Diddy and Cassie back to their hotel room to get Cassie's things, he saw a man dressed in dark clothes sitting on the bed. This detail became very important because it supports Cassie's story. Cassie said that the video we all saw was her trying to get away from one of those freak-off situations she did not want to join. Since she did not want to be part of it, everything shown in the video really happened. The third person in the room is important because it helps prove Cassie's story. It shows she was trying to escape a forced freak-off, which goes against Diddy's claim that it was just a jealous argument about something on his phone. What happened next was caught on hotel security cameras. CNN released this video in May 2024. The footage shows Diddy grabbing, shoving, and kicking Cassie as she tried to get away. Diddy had no idea the cameras were recording at the time, which makes this footage very damaging. Flores also said that after the attack, Diddy offered him money to keep quiet about what he saw. This claim suggests Diddy knew he did something wrong and tried to cover it up. Flores even said Diddy had a devilish stare when he came out of the elevator, which made the situation seem even more serious. Diddy's lawyers say this is why the video matters in court, but they also argue, no, freak-offs were not real. Everyone agreed to have sex together, but that is not what happened. The defense lawyer, Brian Steele, questioned Flores hard, trying to show that Flores' story changed and was not reliable. Steele asked why Flores did not mention Cassie's purple eye or the man on the bed in his first report back in 2016. Flores said he didn't think those things were important to write down at the time. Steele pointed out the problem. So, it was not important then, but it is important now. He also asked if Flores talked to the man on the bed or asked his name. Flores said no, because the man didn't say anything. The defense also brought up that Flores took videos on his phone and sent them to his wife, laughing about his shiny shoes. This made it seem like Flores was more excited about meeting a celebrity than worried about Cassie. Steele said maybe Flores was covering for Diddy back then but changed his mind now, trying to make the jury doubt Flores' honesty. Despite all these attempts to make Flores look bad, the prosecutor said one thing clearly. Even if Flores' memory is not perfect, the video shows exactly what happened. This hidden camera footage, which Diddy never knew about, clearly shows him attacking Cassie, chasing her, grabbing her neck, throwing her down, and kicking her. When the video was shown in court, many jurors looked upset. Diddy kept his head down and could not watch himself. This video might be the most important evidence that could end Diddy's career. As if the hotel video wasn't bad enough, the court was shocked when Cassie, who is pregnant but calm, took the stand. She said there is even more hidden camera footage. This time, it was footage that Diddy recorded himself in what she called the dark rooms in his houses. Cassie said these freak-offs were not just random acts, they were carefully planned. Events with special lighting, props, and cameras, almost like making a music video. Cassie said Diddy treated these sessions like a production. He wanted everything to look perfect on camera. He would watch the videos later and sometimes use them to control the people involved, making sure they kept cooperating. This matches what investigators found during raids on Diddy's properties in March 2024. They took not only weapons and drugs, but also a lot of surveillance equipment and hard drives. The prosecutors say they found a large collection of private videos that Diddy made over many years. Cassie explained how these freak-offs followed 4 steps, all directed by Diddy. The first step was describing everything that was happening, which was used as narration for the videos. The second step involved putting on a lot of baby oil to make people look shiny on camera. She said they used so much oil it became a big thing for Diddy. They had to reapply it every 5 minutes to keep the shine. This explains why over 1,000 bottles of baby oil were found during the raids. Diddy wanted the videos to look perfect. The last 2 steps involved more intimate activities. Sometimes Diddy watched, sometimes he took part, but he always made sure the cameras were recording everything for his private collection.
And I thought their opening statements, to be honest with y'all, were weak. Diddy's team. Like, I thought, like, okay, all they did was own up to everything. They like, look, he was angry. He can't control his anger. He, might have abused drugs and been a horrible boyfriend. Y'all gonna hear text messages and audios that make him sound like a horrible person, and that he may have been. All of the most horrible things you could think about him when it comes to how he dealt with the women in his life, he's owning up to it.
These allegations are not just disturbing. They're beyond comprehension. Prosecutors claim they have dozens of video recordings made by Diddy himself during these so-called freak-offs, some recorded without the participants' knowledge and used as blackmail to ensure their ongoing compliance. This goes far beyond consensual relationships. It's a calculated system of control and exploitation. If these videos truly exist, Diddy is in serious trouble because video evidence is nearly impossible to refute, like getting caught on a Ring doorbell stealing packages and trying to deny it. On top of that, prosecutors say Diddy supplied victims with controlled substances like ketamine, GHB, and ecstasy to keep them obedient. One of the most shocking pieces of evidence is a hotel bill showing Diddy paid over $46,000 in damages after a freak-off in 2012. That's not a party, that's a demolition derby. Even more chilling is the claim that, despite knowing he was under criminal investigation as of January 2024, Diddy allegedly continued these freak-offs, essentially flaunting the law. His defense team insists these were all consensual, private relationships, but prosecutors argue the illegal element lies in the use of force, threats, and coercion to make people participate. The whole case paints a dark, brutal picture of abuse disguised as intimacy. What we're seeing here isn't just a scandal. It's a full-blown exposé of power, control, and corruption at the highest level. The hidden cameras, the secret recordings, the damning video evidence, they're all pieces of a puzzle that could bring down one of the biggest names in the industry. This isn't just a story to watch unfold. It's a wake-up call about what really happens behind closed doors when fame and power go unchecked. If you want to stay ahead of every shocking twist and uncover the truth that the mainstream won't tell you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't miss a single moment of this explosive trial, because when the cameras stop rolling, the real story is just getting started. Stay tuned, stay informed, and stay ready. This is far from over.